I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Let's press on now to page 27 of the Grade 4 Discovering Music Theory workbook, continuing with the topic of keys and scales and also technical names for degrees of the scale. And we have a sort of a combination of all of those factors now with exercise 5. So first of all, we need to name the major key, and then we need to give the technical name for each of the notes. So that's kind of step 2B, because step 2A is going to be, first of all, we need to find the number or the degree of the scale. And so it's quite easy if you just take it steadily and just follow through the process. You know, you can't just sort of look at it and answer it. You've got to just follow through the process, and then it's really simple. And just follow through these steps. And so first of all, we know that D major has 2 sharps, F sharps and C sharps. So we can't answer anything until we know what key we're in. And again, there are so many times when we need to know what key we're in, and we need to know what scale we're in. And so I suggest that you always have, just every time, write out your circle of fifths, just write out all of your keys, and then all of your thinking is done in one go, rather than having to keep thinking, oh, now, which scale's this, which key's this. Just have it there to hand, and it's just instantly accessible. So we know that it's D major. So now we need to know which degree of the scale this is. So we can either count from D, 1, 2, line, space, line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or if you're not sure, you can double check it by D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can see that C, and of course it's C sharp because of your key signature, is the 7th degree of the scale, and then we can easily say, yes, that's the leading note that leads us back to the tonic. So let's look at this one together. So we have a key signature of 3 sharps, which is A major, and then we'd have to count up. So if that's C, B, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 6th degree of the scale. And again, if you're not confident with that, you can always go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And we can see that F is the 6th. Of course, it's F sharp, but your key signature will deal with that. And the 6th degree of the scale, if you remember, is the submediant. And we looked at why that was so. It was the lower middle as we allocated the notes in the first lesson where we looked at these. And, you know, it's just a matter of a little bit of revision so that you can become comfortable in using these new terms. So maybe press pause and try these remaining exercises. So I'm hoping that you've had a go. So we have B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats. That's the key signature for A flat major. Remember, it's the tonic plus 1 if you need a double check. At the end of the day, just, you know, kind of learn your key signatures or write out the circle of fifths. And here, this is a note A flat, so that's just the plain old tonic, just the 1st degree of scale, the tone key, the home note, as it were. Now, before we even get kind of entrenched in a clef that we might not be familiar with, you viola players are ahead of the game here because you'll be quite happy with this. But, you know, regardless, we know that 1 sharp is always F sharp, and we know that F sharp is the key signature for G major. So we hardly even need to read that at the moment, but we do need to read this now. If that's a C, that's a D. And if we can't C, that's a D. So if we count from a G, C, B, A, G, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. Or if you want to just save that process of using the alto clef, you could just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, G, A, B, C, D, and you can see that it's D, and we know that the 5th is the dominant. There we go. Now here we know that 2 flats is B flat major. So now we need to figure out what degree of the scale this is. So this is quite low, so let's just jump it up an octave, that will help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that takes us to here. And if this is a B flat, that's the 1st degree of the scale, that's the 2nd, so it's the supertonic. So all I've done is just jumped it up an octave because it's easier than working down here. Or of course you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, B, C, D, E, F and so on. And we can see that C is the tonic. Of course it's B flats and E flats, but your key signature will deal with that. Either way you get to the answer, supertonic. So here we have a key signature of 5 flats B, E, A, D, G, which we know is our new key of D flat major. And so if this is a C, D, E, F, C, D, E, F, and if we're in D flat major, D is the 1st, E is the 2nd, F is the 3rd, that's the 3rd degree of the scale, or again you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, D, E, F, G, and we can see that F is the 3rd, and we know that that's the mediant. And as you do more and more of these, you do get quicker, so you just get used to counting. So this is F, C, G, D, this is E major. And so this is an A. I'm going to jump it up an octave because that's quite low down. So if we count from E, 1, 2, 3, 4, counting from the tonic, 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of counting down here, that's the 4th, or we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, E, F, G, A. We can see that A is the 4th degree of the scale, and that's the subdominant. And then finally we have here a key signature of 5 sharps, that's our new key B major. And this note here is a C, D, E, F, G, A. And if we count up from B, if that's C, that's B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the 7th degree of the scale, and that's the leading note. And so it's not particularly difficult, it's just tricky, and you just take each step of the process slowly. It gets quicker as you get more used to it, but it's easily sorted if you just follow through the process. And now we have a similar scenario, however this time we've been given the tonic and we're asked to create the interval showing the next degree of the scale that's been named here. So the tonic here is B, and so we need to remember that the key signature for B major is F, C, G, D, A sharps. And so we would need to apply that as an accidental to any appropriate note. Now here, this is the subdominant 1, 2, 3, 4, which takes us to an E, which isn't affected by the key signature. However, later examples will require us to apply the key signature where appropriate. So our tonic here is D flat. So we need to bear in mind that D flat major has B, E, A, D, G flats. So now we need to count from the tonic to the submedian, which is the 6th degree of the scale. So counting from the D flat, 1, 2, 3, line space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which takes us to a B. And of course, it must be a B flat. And again, if you're not very confident with that, you can step out the degrees of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're in D flat major, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. And the submedian, the 6th, is B, which of course must be flattened. So we know that it's got to be B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats, and G flats. So that does all of your thinking there, but as you get more confident, you can just work it out on the go just by stepping up the stave. So I shall just continue to just step through the stave, but you can write it out like this if this is what helps you. So I do suggest that you now try the remaining exercise 6 questions. So do press pause, have a go, just be brave and go for it. Always write in pencil, it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, you can just rub it out. Now's the time to make those mistakes and learn from them. So here we have a D flat in the bass clef. This is our tonic. So we know that D flat major is B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats, G flats. Now we need the leading note, which is the 7th degree of the scale. So counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So from D flat, the 7th degree is C. That's our leading note. Oh, I'm not quite sure what happened then. Good job, we're in pencil. There's C. And that's not affected by the key signature, so that's that completed. Now this note here, it's quite low down. We can't jump the octave there because we need 5 steps up. We're not going to be jumping octaves really. So if we count up to the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that takes us here. This is, if we think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it's a B, an octave lower, so we're in B major, which has F, C, G, D, A sharps. Here we have an F, and so of course that must be sharpened. Now here, this is a C, D flat, so we're in D flat major. We need a key signature of B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats, G flats. And we need to find the median, which is the 3rd degree of the scale. So 1, 2, 3 takes us here, and that's going to be a C, D, E, F, which is not affected by the key signature, so we're all good, that's complete. Here's a note B, and so B major has a key signature of F, C, G, D, A sharps, and we need to get to the leading note, so we need to count 7 degrees up, counting 1, that's the 1st step of the scale, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. The only way you can go wrong is if you forget to count the tonic as number 1, and then you'll end up a step out. If you just go 1, 2, we've missed the fact that B is the 1st degree of the scale. So that's got us to note A, and we know that A should be sharpened. And now we have this last couple. So this note here is a C, B, A, G, F, E, D flat. And D flat major has a key signature of B flats, E flats, A flats, D flats, G flats. If that's the tonic, the supertonic, which is the 2nd degree of the scale, is just literally 1 step up to note E, D flat to E, and of course that should be E flat. And so that's that. And then finally we're in the bass clef, that's a note B, good boys. We know that B major has a key signature of F, C, G, D, A sharps. And we need to count to the submedium, which is the 6th degree of the scale. 1, that's the 1st degree of the scale, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, which takes us to note G. And of course G must be sharpened. And then that's that page completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.